Hey everyone, I am live from Austin and I haven't had a conversation with you all for a while, so I thought I'll share some feedback that we just received on our storytelling events. And we just ran a storytelling workshop for 6 weeks for kids here in Austin, and one of the parents really loved the event and they were like, oh, how can we do more? Can you bring it to our school and all of that? And then I guess they had this moment of I guess they questioned it and they said, how do you feel when there's only 3 or 4 Indian kids in the classroom and majority of the classroom is not South Asian actually, and which is not uncommon here in Austin. And so I said, but that's sort of like the moot point of what we are trying to say, that even though we focus on South Asian stories and even though we talk about South Asia and we spotlight artists and literature from there, it is in no way meant only for South Asians. Now, of course, South Asians feel a sense of belonging, they feel a sense of cultural pride when we bring those stories to them. When I work with my school of my son typically, and I take a Diwali story to their classroom, he gets happy and he feels validated because I'm talking about something we celebrate at home. But kids who are not Indian or who don't celebrate those same festivals also get incredibly engaged because they are learning about something that they otherwise wouldn't. And I feel like that really is the central mission that we work with, that it's so critical and important for us to learn stories about the rest of the world or about experiences which are different than ours. And I really hope that as parents or as anyone who's working in a team who has some kind of diversity that they are able to see, that you learn that, stories that might be coming from a minority are not just meant for that minority. They are meant for all of us to make our environments richer and to learn about things that we otherwise would never pay attention to. And in a world rife with conflict, the only thing that helps is when we hear stories, when we understand people's perspectives. And storytelling is an easy way to get there. Instead of me coming and giving you preachy sentiments on here is how you become more diverse or here's what you're not doing or doing. It's much easier when you do it in a way that engages people, whether it's kids or adults. So, absolutely as a South Asian non-profit, we have intense pride in what we do, but we also I want to clarify that it's for everyone. And so if you're a parent who's interested in bringing to their child rich world stories, or if you're a team lead who wants to sort of bring diverse conversations to your teams and improve communication skills, it's relevant to you too. And you don't need to be South Asian for that. And, I guess a lot of South Asian authors sort of struggle with the same thing. I've seen in reporting, I've talked to authors who would say that their books are kept in the South Asian aisle, or you would see authors mentioned only when there is Diwali and you don't really see their mentions throughout the year. When I think the true inclusive culture would highlight authors of color or, whether they're South Asian or any other community throughout the year, because we deserve good stories and we deserve rich stories no matter what time of the year it is. And so I really hope that you're paying attention to that. And if you're South Asian, I hope that you take these cultural nuggets or stories to your classrooms, not thinking too much about who is going to hear it. Because to be honest, someone like me who grew up in India, I read a lot of British literature. And of course, we have a colonial past and all of that. But no one really asked me that, should you be reading British literature because you're not British? And I'm like, that's okay, because, although I would have loved to read more British, non-British literature or more Indian literature as a English student, I guess, but I also learned something from that, right? So I hadn't gone to the UK till much later in my life, but I knew a lot about it because I had read books around it. So I think all of these learning experiences are additive, and all of the stories we learn help us eventually down the line. We have a great day ahead, and hopefully think about stories and try and read something this week which is different than what you already know and which is different than what you normally read. And have a great reading week. And for those who are celebrating, I know the festival of Diwali is coming up, and happy Diwali to all of you.